ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ. ಅಪಾರ ಮಹಿಮಾ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಅಪಾರ ಮಹಿಮಾ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಕೃಪಾ ಸಾಗರ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಅಪಾರ ಮಹಿಮಾ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಕೃಪಾ ಸಾಗರ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ. ದೀನ ದಯಾಳೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ದೀನ ದಯಾಳೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಕೃಪಾಳೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ದೀನ ದಯಾಳೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಕೃಪಾಳೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ, ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। We will chant the 6th chapter. जडपदार्थेभ्यः चेतनप्राणिनः श्रेष्ठतराः तस्मात् जडपदार्थानां कृते प्राणिनो न विनाशयितव्याः मूल्यवत् पदार्थेभ्यः जीवनमूल्यानि श्रेष्ठतराणि तैः सम्पन्नः पुरुषः एव सम्माननीयः न तु केवलो धनसम्पन्नः आदर्शहीनः प्रलोभने पतति नश्यति च आवश्यकता अनुसारेणैव जडपदार्थेभ्यो महत्त्वं स्थानं च दद्यात्। Right. So living beings are always greater than inert objects. Therefore, may we not destroy the living beings for the sake of inert objects. More than the valuables, what is greater? The values of life, they are greater. Such a person who is rich with values, he alone is respected, not merely a rich person, a wealthy person. A person who has no values, who has no ideals in life, in the wake of temptation, he falls, he destroys himself, he falls prey to temptation, and thus there is a spiritual downfall as well as material downfall. Therefore, avashyakta anusarenaiva. Therefore, we have to know where to keep the inert objects. We must use them, but use them intelligently. So that is the end of 6th chapter. Now we will enter into 7th chapter. Let us chant. Kāma krodhādi vikārāṇāṁ na vasham āgacchēt manashanti viveka nidhehe nāshakatvāt pareshāṁ cetasi ca tāna उत्पादयेत श्रद्धा भक्ति आदि गुणान् संवर्धयेत अन्येषां हृदि च जनयेत विविध अनुभवैः सर्वदा स्व आत्मानं शिक्षयेत् यस्मात् ते अर्थपूर्णाः न केनापि अनुभवेन कटु भवेत् अपितु मधुरतरो हि भवेत् पीडाहीनो लाभः तथा लाभहीना पीडा न अस्ति प्रायः सर्वेषां जीवने यत्किंचित् अपूर्णत्वं दृश्यते तस्य पूर्तिः लौकिक परिच्छिन्न साधनेन न साध्या किंतु पूर्ण परमात्मना एव पूर्ण दृष्टिम् आश्रित्य पूर्णमेव जीवनं जीवेत् न अन्तः अस्ति जीवनसूत्राणां यस्मात् अपारो अगाधो हि विद्यासागरः न कदापि कुत्रापि कस्याञ्चित् अवस्थायामपि भगवन्तं तस्य कृपां च विस्मरेत् सर्वोत्तमं हि इदं सूत्रम् अनेन सर्वात्मकः भगवान् सद्गुरुश्च प्रीयेताम् तदनुग्रहेण सर्वे च सुखिनो भवन्तु. Yes, so totally 15 verses. The name of the chapter is Mind Your Mind. So what is the first one? Kāma krodha adi vikaranam na vasham agachet. May you not come under the sway of kāma, krodha, etc. Desire, anger. May you not come under the sway of desire, anger, etc. Why is it so? Because, next one, manashanti viveka nidhehe nashakatvat. What happens when we come under the control of kāma krodha? Kāma krodha adi. Adi means what? Kāma, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. 6. Kāma, desire, krodha, anger, lobha, greed, moha, delusion, mada, arrogance, matsarya, jealousy. May you not come under the sway of these shad vairis, the 6 enemies, which disturbs the mind. Now why should not come under its sway? Because manashanti viveka nidhehe nashakatvat. Because it destroys. What does it destroy? Manashanti, peace of mind. And then viveka. Viveka means discriminative ability. It destroys your discriminative ability. It destroys your peace of mind. Therefore, it is a nidhi. Manashanti viveka nidhehe. What is the greatest wealth? The greatest wealth is peace of mind. The greatest wealth is the ability to discriminate, take decision. These are all greatest wealths. So all these wealths will go if you come under the sway of these negativities of the mind. At the same time, paresham chetasi cha tan na utpadayet. May you not create it in others' minds also. So first of all, you should not have it in your mind. And secondly, you should not create it in others' minds. In 3rd chapter, there is a question asked by Arjuna. Bhagavan, why is it that people commit sin even though they know that it is sin? Helplessly they commit sin. Knowingly they commit sin, as though they are compelled by some external force. So at that time Bhagavan says, kāma esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidhi enam iha vairinam. Arjuna, understand this to be your greatest enemy. Who is that? Kāma esha krodha esha. This anger, this desire. It is mahashanaha. It will eat away everything of yours. Your name, fame, wealth, peace of mind, understanding, everything it will destroy. Mahashano mahapapma. It is a mahapapi. It will make you a sinner. So how does this kama, krodha, etc. make you or compel you to do sin? So there it is said in Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter, Bhagavan says, what happens is this kama first attacks the intellect. It covers the intellect. It paralyzes the intellect, jams the intellect. Now once the intellect is jammed, paralyzed, it will no more be able to guide you. The function of intellect is to show you what is right, what is wrong. And once the intellect is jammed, you will no more be able to see what is right and what is wrong. And thus you slip and fall. There is a ladder of fall also given in Bhagavad Gita. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate krodhat bhavati sammohaha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha buddhinashat pranashyati. Step by step. It is called ladder of fall. So what is the first one? Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. The first one is you think of some vishaya. Then sangasteshu upajayate. You start desiring it. And slowly that desire becomes a craving. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Kama there means craving. And then there are only two options. Either you get what you want or you won't get what you want. When you don't get what you want, what happens? Kamat krodho bhijayate. Anger comes. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. From anger comes delusion. Sammohat buddhi vibhramaha. Smriti vibhramaha. With delusion comes loss of memory. Smriti bhramshat buddhi nashaha. From loss of memory, what happens? Your intellect, your intelligence, knowledge is destroyed. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. Such a person falls. So this is ladder of fall. So how to control them? That is not pointed out here. If suppose kama, krodha, etc. comes, how to deal with it? In the 3rd chapter it is given. Indriyani paranyahu indriyebhyah param manaha manasastu para buddhi yo buddhe paratastu saha evam buddhef param buddhva samstabhya atmanam atmana jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. Arjuna, this is the way to kill this kama, desire. What is it? So higher than the sense objects are the senses. Higher than the senses, what is it? It is a mind. Higher than the mind is the intellect. And higher than the intellect is He, the Supreme Lord. So holding on to Lord, you kill this kama. The higher you go, the greater control you have upon the lower. But the problem with this kama is even your intellect can be corrupted when you are under its sway. So even intellect can become helpless. So then there is one way. Go to something which is beyond intellect. And what is that which is beyond intellect? The Supreme Lord, the pure consciousness, the ultimate witness in us, which is none other than Bhagavan. Holding on to Bhagavan, win over them. This is the advice given. Devi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Bhagavan himself says, my Maya is difficult to cross over. Nobody can win over my Maya. And how does Bhagavan's Maya express itself? In terms of kāma krodha only. How to win over it? Mam eva ye prapadyante. Those who take refuge in me alone, mayam taranti. They cross over. This is the only way. There is no other way. So when you regularly pray, when you regularly meditate, what happens? You develop the ability to look within. And when you develop this ability to look within, you are able to detect the rise of desire, anger, etc. at a very early stage. And when you are able to detect it at an early stage, you are able to destroy it without difficulty. The earlier, the better. As the thought starts building up, if you are able to destroy that thought at a very early stage, you will be able to handle it easily. As they say, a stitch in time saves 9. It is true very much in this case also. So when you regularly meditate, when you regularly pray, what happens is you develop this ability to look within. And when you are able to look within, as it develops, you become alerted. Many times what happens is our attention is outside, so we never know what is happening within. So as the thoughts build up, you never know. The thoughts expresses itself into speech, speech become action, and then you commit something in haste and then repent in leisure. This is what happens. But when you start meditating, you are able to detect these negativities at a very early stage, and thus you save yourself from great calamities. That is why every day we must meditate. Right, moving further. 4th verse. Shraddhā bhakti adi gunan samvardhayet anyesham hridi cha janayet. Fine, we should not have kāma krodha, but what are the positive things which we must cultivate? So here the advice is given. What is it that we must cultivate? Shraddhā bhakti adi. Shraddhā, faith in God, faith in scriptures, faith in Guru. Shraddhā. Bhakti, devotion in God. Adi, adi means etc. Dispassion, knowledge, all noble virtues like humility, all these things, samvardhayet. May you cultivate it with full enthusiasm. Not just vardhayet, but samvardhayet, samyak vardhayet. May you cultivate these virtues with full zeal. When your mind is pure, these are the virtues which will keep your mind pure, which will keep your mind sattvic. When the mind is sattvic, the mind comes under control easily. A sattvic mind can be controlled easily. So there are so many other benefits of cultivating the sattvic virtues in the mind. Not only that you should cultivate in yourself, what other things you should do? Anyesham hridi cha janayet. Whoever comes to you, you must cultivate these virtues in others also. You must not generate negative traits in them. In contrast, you must generate these positive virtues. When somebody comes to you, when discussion happens, you must have the knack of turning the discussion in such a way that the other person develops these virtues. Discussion's direction should be turned in such a way that you are no more discussing useless things of the world. You are discussing only things which benefit both of us. That way. Now this is possible when you have control over the mind, and this is possible when you are really rich with these virtues. Otherwise it's not possible. When somebody comes for discussion, the stronger one wins. If that person is coming with negative thoughts, and if your positive thoughts are not strong, you will become negative. If your positivity is strong, you will make the other person positive. It all depends upon who is stronger. Is his negativity stronger or is your positivity stronger? It is something like a person drowning. You give your hand. Now there are only two possibilities. Either you will go along with him or you will pull him out. It all depends on who is stronger, isn't it? Suppose you find that you are not strong enough, you are a beginner in spirituality, it is better to avoid people who will pollute your mind. But suppose you feel strong because of so many years of sadhana, then there is nothing to fear. Yes. Now moving further, verse number 5. Vividha anubhavaihi sarvada swa atmanam shikshayet yasmat te arthapurnaha. So in life you will come across various experiences. Varieties of situations you will face, and those situations will give you various experiences. What are you supposed to do with these experiences? Sarvada swa atmanam shikshayet. May you educate yourself through these experiences. Every situation has an ability to teach you something. It comes to teach you something. May you learn the right lessons and thus evolve. It is not an accident that you come across a particular situation. It is God sent. God has sent you such a situation, such an experience, because He wants you to learn something from it. There is an omniscient principle who is giving you certain situations in life. Don't try to escape from it. Don't try to avoid it. Instead, learn lessons from it. Most of us, we don't learn lessons at all. Therefore, these situations keep coming again and again. When you don't learn lessons, situations keep repeating. There was one person whose job was to iron clothes. So he came back home with both his cheeks burnt. So his wife asked, "What happened?" So then this person said, "I have one idiot friend. He gave me a call. So while I was ironing, he gave me a call. So instead of mobile phone, I took this iron box and kept." Then wife said, "Fine, I can understand one cheek is burned. What about the other cheek?" He called me again. He called me again. This is called not learning lessons from past experiences. So this is the first category of people. Any number of experience come, they don't learn lesson at all. There are second category of people. They learn the opposite lesson. A professor, in order to educate the youngsters about the harms of alcohol consumption, So he took one, he went to the glass. On the table he poured alcohol, rum, and then put a worm into it. And then as the youngsters were watching, that worm got dissolved. Then he asked, "What is the lesson you have learned from this?" So one boy got up and said, "If you take alcohol, all the worms in your stomach will be..." This is called learning wrong lessons, isn't it? That is also dangerous. We all experience situations. We go through various experiences, but it is very important what kind of lesson are you learning. What are the wrong lessons to be learned? Wealth makes us happy. This is a wrong lesson. Right? Boosting the ego makes us happy. It is also a wrong lesson. I am a mortal being. Wrong lesson. So there are so many wrong lessons. Worldly pleasures will give you happiness. It's a wrong lesson. So when you don't learn lessons, these experiences keep coming to you again and again. It is something like a child who has failed in 5th standard. Where will he have to go? He will have to go again back to 5th standard. He cannot go to 6th. Same way with life also. Till you learn the lesson, it will keep coming to you. So majority of us, we either don't learn any lesson or we learn wrong lessons. There was one guru and a shishya, right? So they were trying to transport some items from one place to another. So they were traveling in a horse carriage. The carriage was loaded with things. The guru was sitting in front. The shishya was seated at the back. So the guru gave a warning to the shishya. See, just watch the things because it might fall. You have to watch it carefully. So then they started journeying. Horse was running fast. And suddenly one item rolled and fell down. Guru also was seeing. But he found that this shishya is in no mood to get up and go and take it. So he asked, "Why you did not take that item? It has fallen out from the carriage." The shishya said, "You asked me only to watch, not to pick up." Then Guru said, "Oh fool, you have to take it also." Fine. Shishya said, "I will do as you say." After some time, the horse did what it should do. Horse dung, right, while running. Now what is the instruction given to the shishya? Whatever falls from the carriage must be taken. He said, "Stop, stop. Something has fallen." He went, brought it. Guru said, "Oh fool." Then Guru made a list. See, all the list of those things which are present in the carriage. Said, "These things, if it falls, then only you must take." Okay? He said, "Fine." After some time, Guru had a nap. He fell asleep and he fell down. Now the shishya started looking into the list. Is the Guru there? Guru is not there. He asked the carriage fellow to continue. So, we are all such kinds of people. So either we don't learn lessons from life, or we learn wrong lessons. Now there is a third category of people. Who are they? They learn lessons. They learn right lessons, but they think these lessons are meant for others. So whenever they learn something, they are more interested in transforming others, changing others, than applying it to one's own life. Therefore, the verse says, "Swa atmanam shikshayet." Learn lessons and apply it in your life. One youngster, he was very much inspired by a political speech given by some political leader. He came rushing to his home and he told his father, "Father, I am going to join politics because I want to clean up the entire society from corruption, etc. I want to clean up the entire society." Father said, "First you start from your own room." Start from your room. Means what? His room is in a mess. Now this fellow is going to clean up the entire society. So in the same way, many times we are unaware that there are a lot of imperfections in us. We are aware only of others' imperfections and we think others have to change. That is why in Chinmaya mission, we always have a very good strength for Balavihar kids, but we don't have any strength for study group or yajnas. Why? The parents think, I am right, I am alright, children are not right. That is the problem. So who has to correct themselves? Children have to correct themselves. So therefore, they must be sent to Balavihar, etc. They are perfect. Right? Now this notion is there. In majority of us, we think we are perfect, others are imperfect, therefore we suffer. The greatest lesson in life is, I am suffering because I am imperfect. The world is already perfect. A perfect God has created a perfect world. The world is perfect. If I am suffering, it is only because I am imperfect. That is the first step in spirituality. To say, I am imperfect, I have to change. So therefore, vividha anubhavaihi sarvada swa atmanam shikshaye yasmat, because they arthapurna, they are full of meanings. That situation has come to you with a purpose. There are so many things to learn in life. There is a beautiful article which I have read, written by Sri Sri Ravishankar. He says, there are 5 things you must visit in your lifetime and learn lessons from. What are the 5 things? First is, you must visit a school and try to teach children. You should become a primary school teacher and try to teach little children. What is the thing which you will learn from it? These children will never understand. You will have to teach it again and again. So you will learn patience. There are so many things to learn from children. Humility, you have to learn from children only. Straightforwardness, you have to learn from children only. Innocence, you have to learn from children. Lot of things are there which you can learn from children. So therefore, spend at least 5 days in a school. That's the first one. The second one is, you must visit what you call the cultivation fields and spend some days there with the farmer. You must see how food is grown, how cultivation is done, how much pain they take in order to cultivate food. Then only you will value food. The sowing the seeds and how the seeds sprout, they become plant, and how the farmer takes care of those plants. When you see all that, you start valuing food, you will never waste food. So this is the second place where you have to visit. The third place to visit is a mental hospital. You should be there for 5 days. What is there to learn from a mental hospital? So many people will blame you, criticize you, talk all nonsense, but you are not at all affected. Why? Because you know they are mad. Isn't it? When mad people criticize you, do you feel bad? Don't. In the same way, in this world also, many of us are not in the mental hospital, doesn't mean they are mentally healthy. Right? Just because you are not in a mental hospital doesn't mean you are mentally healthy. So there are all kinds of people in this society. They will criticize you, they will ridicule you, they will pass unnecessary comments, they will be jealous with you, they will be angry with you. So you have to treat them just like you are treating those mad people in the mental hospital. This is a lesson to be learned. How to get unaffected by unhealthy criticisms, unhealthy comments made by others. Right? This is the third place. The fourth place to visit is, you must visit a prison. Prison. What is the lesson to be learned from a prison? Here you will find people who are regretting, lamenting. You will feel compassionate towards them. How these helpless people, somewhere down the lane, because they did not have control over their negative emotions, they yielded to their negative emotions like kāma, krodha, etc. And because of that, they did something terribly wrong. And now they are caught, and now they are repenting. Throughout their life they will repent for something wrong which they have done, and that wrong thing they have done because they did not have control over their emotions. When you find such people, you will be more alert regarding your own negative emotions. So prison is one more place where you must visit. And the last one, fifth one is, you must visit hospital where people are terminally ill. They have lost all hopes of living. Such people you must go and visit. What is the thing to be learned? The thing to be learned is, life is precious. We take life so lightly, but ask this person who is going to die, how much precious is life? He will tell you, he will teach you how much life is precious. This is another lesson to be learned. So these are the 5 places you must visit. What are they? School, then the field, and then mental hospital, a prison, and hospital. Right. Moving further. So the whole thing is, may you learn lessons from different experiences in life. Now the 6th sutra. Na kenapi anubhavena katu bhavet apitu madhurataraha hi bhavet. May you not become bitter with these experiences. May you become sweeter. Madhurataraha. These experiences in life should never make you bitter. Especially with bitter experiences, normally people tend to become bitter. Experiences should not make you bitter, they should make you better. That is the whole thing. So one daughter, she was very much depressed. She came to her mother and she was complaining for all the suffering she was undergoing in life. She went and complained to mother. Mother called her to the kitchen and she kept 3 pots. In one pot she put carrot to boil. Another pot she put egg. The third pot she put coffee beans. And then they were allowed to boil. So what happens to the carrot? It becomes soft. What happens to the egg? It becomes hard, right? And what happens to coffee beans? That fragrance, that aroma starts spreading everywhere. So mother teaches her daughter. She says, this is how people are. There are 3 types of personalities in this world. One is carrot personality. What is carrot personality? The moment some difficulties, challenges, problems come from the world, they become tender. So boiling water represents difficulties. they become very vulnerable, they become very tender. Tender means very soft. They get affected easily by the external problems. That is one type of people. Another type is egg personality. What is that personality? They become very bitter, hard, harsh, rock-like. Difficult situations make them very rough. Even the little bit of faith they have in God, that also goes away. There are such people. Some tragedy happens and they throw away the photos of gods and goddesses from their prayer room. Such people are there. Rather they come and give it to us in the temple. Of course, we receive it wholeheartedly. Such people are there. They have only negative things to say about the world, about God, about everything. They are the egg personality. Now what is the third one? Coffee beans personality. What does this coffee beans do? When the water is boiled, this coffee spreads its aroma not only into that boiling water, it spreads it everywhere. That is a real wise personality. They spread the fragrance of their sweet personality everywhere. Like the tulasi. When you crush tulasi, that tulasi imparts its fragrance to the very hands which crushes it, isn't it? Or like the sandalwood tree, it gives the fragrance even to the axe which cuts it. Certain people are like that. Of course, rare. So with experiences, what should happen to us? We should not become katu, bitter. We should become madhuratara, sweet. We can become sweet only when we analyze situations in such a way that you feel greater love for God, greater devotion for God. You should analyze the situations in such a way that your trust, devotion, etc. towards God should increase. You can analyze your situations in any way. But the intelligent way of analysis is, at the end of retrospection, your love for God should increase. One person, he was just thinking about what all had happened in the past year. So he was jotting down. So point number 1, he wrote, last year I underwent a heart surgery. Such a sad thing. Number 1. Number 2, my father passed away. Tragedy. Number 3, my son met with an accident. He could not write medical exam. Car also was destroyed. So thus, he was sitting very dejected and sad. His wife came. Wife saw husband sitting very sad. She just went through what was written on the paper. She went in another sheet, she wrote something and placed it in front of him. So what was written? So first, this person had written, I underwent a heart surgery. She wrote, even though I underwent a heart surgery, the operation was successful. Now that pain is no more there. The pain which I was undergoing for so many years, it is no more there now. And the operation was successful. See the way of looking at it. Number 2, he had written, my father passed away. She wrote, father passed away at the age of 95, a very ripe age, and he died without depending on anyone else. He was not bedridden. The death was sudden. What a beautiful way of dying. Second point. Third one, he had written, my son, he met with an accident. He could not write medical exam. The car was destroyed. She wrote, Though the accident was serious, though the car was spoiled totally, but our son escaped unhurt without any serious injuries. Now see, the very same situation, how you view in a different light. Only when you analyze your life's experiences in a positive light, then alone you can develop love for God. Otherwise you will become bitter only. Whatever is happening in life is happening for a purpose, and whatever is happening for good. This you must prove in every situation. You must prove it to yourself. Then you will find your mind is always at peace. Thomas Alva Edison, in 1914, he had a big laboratory containing, I think, millions of dollars equipments, modern advanced equipments. In 1914, what happened? A huge fire engulfed the whole laboratory. So the lab was burning. And not only the lab, he had a huge bundle of manuscripts written, his observations, his finding, everything was there. So many years of research, papers were there. Everything was burning. You know what he said? He called his son, Charles, come here. Immediately call your mother. There is a wonderful scene happening. She will miss it. In lifetime, she will not be able to see. Call her immediately. Let her also enjoy this scene. Next day, he was just walking. The whole ground was, it had turned into ashes. He was just walking along the ashes. And he said, Oh God, thank you very much. All the mistakes that I have committed, you have burnt it. Now I can start afresh. See the way of thinking. The whole lab is gone, and this person says, thank you God, you have burnt away my mistakes. This very same person, he was trying to invent electric bulb. It is said almost 2,000 or 20,000, I don't know. That many experiments he had conducted, and everything ended up in a failure. So somebody asked, Sir, are you not dejected? Thousands of experiments you have conducted and nothing came out with result. Are you not dejected? He said, what is there for dejection? Now I know 2,000 ways how bulb cannot be invented. See the way of looking at it. Every failure has taught me a lesson. Why should I consider it as a failure? Right? Now I know thousands of ways in which how the bulb cannot be invented. So this is the attitude. Any situation you can view it in a positive way also. Any situation. I remember one interesting thing. There was one lady. She had only 3 hairs. Only 3 hairs. So early morning she got up. She saw the 3 hair. She said, today I will braid my hair. And that day she had a wonderful day. Next day morning she got up. She saw there was only 2 hairs. So she said, okay, today I will part it in the middle. And that day she had a wonderful day. Third day she got up and she saw only 1 hair. She said, today I will fix it as a ponytail. And that day she had a wonderful day. Next day she did not have any hair. So she said, wow, what a wonderful day. Today I don't have to fix my hair. That day also she had a wonderful day. The point is, what comes to you, you have no choice, but how you deal with the situation, the choice is yours. You can positively deal with it, positively respond to it, retaining your peace of mind, or crib about it, complain about it, disturbing your peace and the peace of everyone who comes in contact with you. Right. There was one person who used to get disturbed always. So people used to keep him away. But after a few months, they found that this person had become totally peaceful. So one of them went and asked, how is it that such a transformation has happened to you suddenly? He said, I have started following one practice. What is that practice? Every day, morning, the moment I get up, I ask my mind, do you want peace or disturbance? The mind naturally will say, I want peace. Yes, so remain peaceful. Come what may in life, be peaceful. And therefore today I am peaceful. Right. What is it that you want ultimately in life? It is peace. Choose peace. Next one. What is the next one? Seventh one. Pīdā hīno lābha tatha lābhīna pīdā na asti. In this world, painless gain and gainless pain is impossible. If you want to gain something, the price you have to pay is pain. Right? If you want to gain anything in life, what is the price? Pain is the price. Pain in the sense what? There is some amount of effort, hard work, perseverance. You have to apply your energy, all those things. You can gain nothing in this world without pain. This is called pīdā. Labha means gain. Pīdā means pain. So what is the first one? Pīdā hīnah labha na asti. There is no labha, gain, without pain. As they say, no pain, no gain. But then the next one is also interesting. What is it? Gainless pain is also impossible. Meaning, if you are going through pain in any field, whether it is physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, if you are going through any pain, definitely it will bring you some gain. Pain will definitely give you some gain. That is also choiceless. In fact, it is pain which teaches us very many things in life. Failures, insults, they teach you much more than honor, success. Normally what happens is when we succeed, we become relaxed. We become lukewarm. But suppose when we fail, we start introspecting, isn't it? Where did we fail? Why did we fail? A lot of introspection grows, a lot of self-analysis goes, right? So many times it is the pain which teaches us greater lessons. So whatever be the kind of pain you are undergoing, remember one thing, whether you like it or not, you are gaining something. Whether you know it or not, you are gaining something. Many times it is the pain which makes us humble. Many times it is the pain which makes us compassionate. If I have undergone a pain in some field, if I know that pain, when I see somebody going through the same pain, my heart melts because I know what he is undergoing, isn't it? Pain makes you compassionate. Many of the virtues come because of pain. So pain is a blessing in disguise. Ultimately, it is this pain which matures itself into mumukshutvam, desire for liberation. And it is this desire for liberation which ultimately liberates a person. makes him free from birth-death cycle. So in this way, when you analyze, every pain is a blessing in disguise. Every pain. And that is why this, what you call, narakas are created. Hell. Varieties of descriptions are also given in Puranas. What happens in Naraka? How this person, this jiva who has done so much of papa karma, how he is treated there in Naraka. Roasting, what is that? Putting him in boiling oil. It said, you don't die, but you will go through the same pain. You are fried. This is one thing. The other thing is, varieties of insects starts biting you. You will not die. You will just experience the pain. This is another type. Then there is something called Vaitarani Nadi. All filth flows in that and you keep drowning in it. Right? Those who are interested to know further details, please contact me later. You have a lot of choice. Which naraka to go, what to experience. The whole point I am trying to say is, why is it that such narakas are created? Because there are people who have a terrible mind, highly tamasic, highly rajasic people, highly negative, highly impure. Now when you read newspaper, you come to know what all kinds of people exist in this world. Such an amount of impurity will not go by mild detergent. Strong stain removers are necessary. And such stain removers are present. Isn't it? Even in this world itself there are plenty. Varieties of diseases. If you read some descriptions, it is terrible. Anyway, I am not going to describe all that. The point is this. Suffering is a blessing in disguise. Have you seen this lion eating a buffalo live in this National Geographic channel, etc.? You will find. And many times we feel, what is this God? What kind of world you have created? Poor buffalo is surrounded by lions and they are eating it alive. Many times feel it is total unjust. It's an injustice, but it is not. In Bhagwan's creation, everything is perfect. How can you justify this? You see, buffalo is the most tamasic animal. If an animal has to be waked up from its tamas state, something rough has to be there. Isn't it? Have you seen a buffalo? How lazy it is. You think it will ever evolve to perfection if it lies down like that? It needs a lion to bring out its maximum alertness. Have you seen a buffalo being eaten? You look at its face. It is at its peak of sattva. That tamasic animal is at its best when it is being attacked by a lion. It is at its peak of alertness. Now these samskaras will be stored even when it dies as buffalo, but it is not dying. The jiva is still there. So that death, it helps it evolve further in the ladder of evolution. So many times it is pain which helps us evolve. So therefore it is absolutely right. Labhahina peda na asti. Pain is also a blessing. Next one. What is the next one? Prayah sarvesham jivane yat kinchit apurnatvam drishyate. In anyone's life, there is some or the other thing which is lacking. Nobody is perfect. Everyone has got something or the other lacking in life. Now what is the advice given? Tasya purtihi laukika parichinna sadhanena na sadhya. That which we lack in life, at the materialistic plane, it cannot be fulfilled. All the lacks cannot be, all the, what do you call that? All the things which we lack. If you have this notion that once I have all my materialistic desires fulfilled, then I will be happy. If this is your notion of happiness, then you can never be happy. It is impossible to fulfill all your worldly desires. Everyone has something or the other lacking. Once George Bernard Shaw, you know him, George Bernard Shaw, a great English literary figure. Once he was approached by a beauty queen. Now George Bernard Shaw did not have any handsome looks. So one beauty queen approached Bernard Shaw and said, "Sir, if we get married, your brain and my beauty, the child will be wonderful." Bernard Shaw said, "But if reverse happen, it will be terrible." Your brain and my beauty. So better let us not take chance. He rejected the offer. The point is, everyone is not blessed with everything. Some are rich, but they are not beautiful. Some are beautiful, but they don't have brains. Correct? So you will not have everything in life. Something will be lacking. So now, when you lack something, naturally you will be miserable. How to get rid of your misery? The solution is given. Purna Paramatmana eva tasya purtihi. Only by Paramatma you can gain that fulfillment. So here little bit of spirituality is necessary. So each and every one of us, according to spiritual text, who we are none other than Satchit Ananda Atma, pure consciousness we are, which is immortal, which is infinite, which is of the nature of bliss. This is our essential nature. What are we? We are pure consciousness. Then what about this body, mind, etc.? It is nothing but an equipment given to you. So I am infinite consciousness functioning through this body, mind, intellect. This is me. And who are you? You are again the same infinite consciousness functioning through that particular body. Right? So we are all different containers, but the content is the same. So this body is an insignificant body, a temporary body. It has to come and go. But body's coming and going is not my coming and going. I exist eternally as pure consciousness. Death is only for the body. Imperfection is only for the body, mind, intellect. Imperfection is not the nature of the self. Paramatma means supreme self, which is pure consciousness, which is my nature. So if you want perfection, hold on to supreme self, which is your nature. At the level of body, mind, intellect, you can never attain perfection. There will be something or the other lacking. So now this is the case. Supreme self, pure consciousness, need not be perfect because it is already perfect. Body, mind, intellect cannot be perfect. These are the two things. Pure consciousness need not be perfect. Body, mind, intellect cannot be perfect. This understanding has to be there about life. So who am I? I am consciousness functioning through this temporary body. A time will come when this body will be dropped, but body's death is not my death. Just like the pot may break, but the pot space remains. Isn't it? The pot space was there before pot also, while pot is there, and after pot also. Pot space has nothing to do with the pot. In the same way, consciousness has nothing to do with the body. So you must understand, in my personality there are two aspects. One is that which is infinite and permanent, the other which is finite and impermanent. At the impermanent level, I can never make it perfect. I need not make it perfect, because someday or the other it has to go. But there is something which is perfect in me, something which is divine in me, something which is blissful in me. So when I turn my attention to that blissful, infinite, immortal self, all my experience of finitude, all my experience of limitations goes away. This is the essence of spirituality. So in spirituality, what are we trying to do? You are just trying to know who you are. And once you come to know who you are, you live a contented life. Even though body is imperfect, that imperfection is not bothering you. Even though at the mind and intellect level, things are imperfect, it is not bothering you. Because you know, you are different from it. You are the witness of the body, mind and intellect. Witness is always different from the witnessed. Witnessed body, mind, intellect is always different from the witnessing consciousness. And who am I? I am witnessing consciousness. And that witnessing consciousness, which is my true nature, it is already perfect. So what has to be done? Just shift your attention from the imperfect BMI to the perfect consciousness. And once your attention is shifted, you experience infinite bliss. You experience total perfection. Thus, you become totally contented. This is called purtihi. You feel purnatvam. You feel complete. You feel perfect. It is possible. But if you try to make your body perfect, mind perfect, then millions of births will come and go, you will remain dissatisfied. So that is the meaning. Tasya purtihi laukika parichinna sadhanena. Parichinna means limited. Sadhana means. You can never attain perfection using limited means of BMI, body, mind, intellect. Na sadhya, kintu purna paramatmana eva. Experience of infinity is possible only when you shift your attention to your real nature. Thus, purna drishtim ashritya purnameva jivanam jivet. Thus, having purna drishti, vision of the whole, complete vision, purna drishti, a vision which is fully matured, with full of understanding about life, a thorough understanding about oneself and the world. It's called purna drishti. When you have purna drishti, what happens? Your life becomes purnam. You experience perfection. At the body, mind, intellect level, you remain imperfect. But that imperfection doesn't bother you. Just like my specs may be imperfect, but this imperfection will not bother me because this specs is not me. Isn't it? Someday it may break, but its breaking is not my breaking. It is just an equipment given. In the same way, body, mind, intellect is only an equipment with which I transact in the world. Once the body is gone, I will no more be transacting, but that doesn't mean I will no more be existing. So this understanding has to be there. Then live a contented life, live a happy life. And now Guruji says, Na antaha asti jivana sutranam. There is no end to aphorisms in life. It can go on and on and on and on. Only some important ones are mentioned here. Many more may be there. If you keep thinking, you will get many more. Why? Yasmad aparaha agadhaha I vidya sagaraha. This world is a vidya sagara, is an ocean of knowledge. This ocean of knowledge is aparaha, infinite, agadha, deep. Therefore, you can find such pearls of wisdom everywhere. Any number, there is no end. But there is one thing which is, so now Guruji says, this is the crux, most important sutra. If you want to say, this is the one. What is it? Na kadapi kutrapi kasyanchit avasthayam api bhagavantam tasya kripam cha vismaret. If you say, what is the most important sutra? This is the one. What is the one? At no time, na kadapi kutrapi, at no place, kasyanchit avasthayam api, in no situation, bhagavantam tasya kripam ja vismaret. May you not forget God and His grace. Never forget God, never forget His grace. At any place, at any time, in any situation. Sarvottamam hi idam sutram. This sutra is the best. So this is the essence. One sutra to summarize the whole thing is hold on to God. And the last one. Anena sarvatmaka bhagavan sadguruscha priyetam. Anena, with this. So Puja Guruji is saying, with this composition of mind, may the Supreme Lord be pleased. Bhagavan also Sadguruscha. May my Guru also be pleased with this composition of mind. And thus, tadanugrahena sarvecha sukhino bhavantu. By their grace and blessings, may everyone be happy. So Puja Guruji is invoking the grace and blessings of the Supreme Lord and Puja Gurudev. Why is he invoking the blessings? So that we may all be happy. May we also invoke the grace of Bhagavan and Sadguru and thus make our life happy. Thus this text comes to an end. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhave asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.